Okay, in the last tutorial, we placed some objects into the scene that we've created together, and you've had a chance to do some lighting and stuff in your scene that you've created. In here, let's just take a look. Before I put a few objects into here and show you a few things about UVW maps and whatnot, let's take a look at this again because I noticed something. All right. When I did the lighting in this one, I just did the three lights, boom, 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 up at the top, and thought, well, that looks pretty good. But if we really look at it, these areas behind the chair are kind of too dark. They really are kind of too dark. It's kind of dramatic, looks kind of cool, but it's not very natural. So what I didn't do is I did not put ambient lights in here. I'm going to just make a clone of that and put it away for a second. So ambient lights are easy enough to do. I'm just going to go to my top view and over here to lights and make sure that we're not on photometric but standard. I'm going to go to an OmniLight and I will go ahead and put one there, and I'm going to go ahead and shift copy that one down, making a reference because I want them to all do the same thing. And OK, and then I'm just going to control click this light as well, and I'll shift copy this over here. So say OK, and control click these guys here, and take a look at my front viewport, and probably just raise them up just a little bit. OK, and let's see here. So we'll go into our camera view, take another render. Okay, well that got rid of those shadows, but it's really too bright now. This is all washed up here. So remember, ambient lights are only just to give you just a little bit of light around, just so that those shadows don't get too dark. All right, going over here, and I could have one or I could have all of them selected. It doesn't matter because those are references after all. We don't want shadows on with our ambient lights. But here we go with our intensity, probably bringing that way down here. How about like 0.1? It was at 1, now it's only at 0.1, 1/10 of what it was. Now let's take a look. Okay, that's pretty good. You see, it didn't really mess up the lighting throughout the room, but it did change this. Let's take a look at that relative to our first one. So here, much more dramatic, but like I say, a little bit unrealistic. This is much more realistic. Okay. And, you know, if I wanted to, I could continue to mess with this. This could be down as low as like 0.01, for instance. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's maybe we're losing it again. It's not really strong enough to make a difference. All right, let's bring it up to 0.05. Because I did like a little bit of that drama. Oh, and by the way, the decay, no decay. No decay at all. Because these aren't real lights. What it's doing with the ambient light is just sort of mimicking the light that's just in the air around. You know, because unless you're in some kind of really cut off dark cave or room with absolutely no light at all, where you can't even see your hand in front of your face, there's going to be some light. It's just how the atmosphere works. Okay, well that's a happy medium. All right, we'll leave it at that because this video is not really about lighting, it's about objects. Okay, so bring in some objects. Let's see here. And I'll go to art and I'll go to my 3D models. And so remember, we've got colored models and we've got non-colored models. We'll work with both of those a little bit. And in my colored models, let's see what kind of stuff would I logically find in a room such as this. How's about... Oh, there we go. Since this looks like a business place or something, get the little bowl there. So we'll take that N right? Remember just the file, not the picture. Bring that in, say merge. Okay, and that's all good. I'll place that up here onto my table. Alrighty. And if I wanted to get a better look at it, I could always go T for top. That's look pretty good, actually. Good enough. And now that it's on my table, I can move it around. And you know what, also, to make it a little bit more dramatic, I think I would scale it. So I'll go back to my camera view, and I'm going to scale this using the center of the gizmo so that it scales uniformly everywhere. There, that's a little bit better, a little bolder statement. Okay, let's see, what else could we bring in? How's about, let's see. Oh, how about this laptop over here? So we'll bring in laptop A. Just drag that into the scene. Go to merge. And there it is once again. And can I place that one? Let's see here. Sure, why not? Placed it, no problem. And what if I wanted to have two laptops? Well, that's not hard either. I could just go ahead and shift copy that over. And I think I want something unique here. So a copy instead of a reference in case I want to mess with it later, change the picture on the screen, whatever, right? Close it. Who knows? Who knows what I'd do? But I want it to be unique, so I make a copy instead of a reference. Alrighty. So that looks good. Why not? Well, that's pretty nice, but how about some things from the uncolored models? Don't be afraid to use these. Let's see here. How about... Oh, here. How about sculptures? I was looking at these earlier. Thought there might be some cool ones. And as I go down here, we'll get this guy right here. How about ZD? I'm going to bring in that. That's kind of cool looking. Let's see. Not the best picture in the world, but it gives you some sense of what it is. Alright, so ZD, going to bring that in. Yep. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, we'll go with that one. And how about we also bring in one for the other corner of the room, ZF. ZF is right here. So I'll bring that one in as well. Okay, and these object files are just a little bit different than the Max files in that you don't have to click anything, no merge, no anything like that. Okay, so we'll put this guy over in the other corner here, T for top again, and we'll take and move this girl maybe right over here. And we'll move this guy right over here. Before I do though, I'm going to take my ambient light and just move it because otherwise it's going to get covered up. Okay, good enough. Good enough. So let's go back to our perspective view. That'll be nice. All right, so clicking on this one right here. I mean, she looked all right, kind of gray, but I think we can do better. We can do better than that. So we'll go to our material editor. Just a moment. Okay. Our material editor. And with her selected, let's see if she came with any kind of a material. In the material editor, if you go all the way down here, you'll see the scene materials. And that's, it's a good place to have named your materials. I've been kind of bad about doing that in these examples. But here, so she came with a material, and isn't it nice that it is actually labeled so you can actually see what the heck it is. I'll move these guys over a little bit, and I'll double click on that and see what it is. Well, it's a material. It's got her name on it, and that's kind of nice. See, sculpture ZD, but it really has nothing else. Okay, so let's put a material on it. If I was to go back here to art and to my images and to stone, How about, yeah, just something like this marble right over here. That might work out really good. Okay, and show in viewport. So we can see what's going on with that. Does it show up? Well, let's see. Kind of. Let's take a render of it. Kind of. It looks better, but I think we can do even better than that. All right, so what would I do? If I've got this right here, I think what I'd do is I would put a UVW map on it. And that UVW map, probably go for the cylindrical, or the cylinder right there. All right, let's zoom in on that a little bit, see how that looks. Not too bad, it's starting to look pretty natural. What about if we were to tile that a little bit, what would happen? So this way, okay, you can see it moving underneath there. And I think when I was messing with this before, 4 looked pretty good. And what about this way? Because that's going to be awfully streaky. And we'll go 4 this way as well. Just see what happens. Alright, and we'll do a render. That doesn't look too bad like that. We could always go back to that if we like. Ooh, but that looks really good. That really looks like marble. So that looks nice. And so if I'm happy with that, I'll just go ahead and collapse that stack and we're good. Okay, now let's take a look at the other statue. Maybe we can do the exact same thing. Let's see. So just like the first statue, I will bet you this comes with, yep, it came with a material, but a material that really doesn't have anything done to it yet. Let's make it so it shows up, and I'll use that same marble. So here I don't even have to go back to the folder. I'll just shift copy, and I've got that marble, and there it is, and you can see what that looks like. Yeah, looks better, but not that good, right? Okay, so once again, we'll put a UVW map on it. And if 4 and 4 worked pretty good before, let's see what 4 and 4 does for me this time. All right, let's take a picture. Not too bad. Oh, that's the planar. Let's see with the cylinder. All right. Yeah, because it's kind of long and streaky, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. You can kind of see it right here. See, it's doing that weird thing around the chest, and the planar was just those streaks. That didn't look good. So how about, well, let's try the box. We've used the box a bunch of times. How does that look? You would think maybe it wouldn't look that good because we'd have all those corners and stuff, but let's see. Well, it actually doesn't look half bad. It looks okay. It's not near as streaky as the other one was. Let's see here. Could we? Would we? Would it look a little bit better? Maybe a lot like that. Maybe a little bit more. No. Bring it up like this. Let's see. I just didn't like the way it was stretched out over here. And now it's got a seam right here. So we've got to watch out for that. Alright, well, I'm not going to play around with this too much here. Maybe just, oh, there it is. I think I just was able to push it enough to get rid of that seam. The seam was right there. That was pretty bad. Yeah, now we've gotten rid of the seam. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, I can live with that. Okay, so we're not looking too bad. Still a little bit sparse. Let's bring in something else. Models and non-colored. And I think, how about books? Let's see what's in there. Okay, well that looks pretty good. How about a little stack of books on there? That might be just the thing that we want. Okay, well there's my stack of books. And once again, there's no material on it, but let's see, what does it have? If I go over here, oh, there's the books. It's right at the top. See, it's always got that white outline around it. Oh, books are complicated. Got a lot of stuff going on with those books. Alrighty. Well, okay. Boy, that looks pretty bad. Let's see. Can we do anything with that? If I'm back here in that folder that had the books, I'll see another folder and it says archives, right? With the same folder name on it. Let's see. So book A's. Is there anything in the archives? Because oftentimes there are pictures. Well, there's pictures of the models. Oh, here's a folder, books A. What's in here? Copies of the model, and yet another folder. What's in here? Books. Oh, look at that. There's just all kinds of pictures of books. Maybe they just haven't been put on there yet. Let's see. Maybe I can do that now. And by the way, if you do a really good job of coloring one of the models, then I'll give you extra credit for it. If it's something that's so good that we could put it into the colored models and use it forever and ever, yeah, definitely some extra credit there. Okay, so is it as easy as just putting something on? Well, let's go back to our material editor and let's make this so that we can see both these things at once. So let's say if we were to just take and drag a couple of these over. Drag a couple of these over without hitting that. We'll just do a test. We won't do everything, but we'll just see if this is going to be working for us. All right. So I'll take and connect those to my diffuse. We'll see if we get lucky. And we'll make these show in the viewport. Okay, good enough. And back to this here. Okay, so, okay. Well, we see something did happen, but we're not seeing it. Well, maybe it's just as simple as putting a UVW map on it. It's still kind of a pain. We had to deal with all these different books, bring in all the pictures, whatever. But let's see. Maybe if we just do one more thing, that'll work it out. So UVW map. Okay. That doesn't seem to be totally lining up. Well, what about a box? Well, that's not doing it either. I would say that if you fiddled with this enough, yes, you would get it to work. So it's one of those things that's kind of up to you. Do you want to mess with it that much? Sure. And if you do and it looks great, then we can save it and we can give you some extra credit. If not, at some point you just have to say, so maybe we just don't want books. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete those and just clean house a little bit by getting rid of all this stuff here. Okay. Alrighty, no books, but we've got our statues and we've got these models right here, and I guess that's good enough. Why not? So I'll go back to my camera view. And I think I'll pan over just a little bit so I can get both those guys. Oh, let's go Shift F. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've got both those guys in there. That's looking good. And, because Shift F for your safe frames, of course. Take a picture. Yeah, that's looking better and better. So let's take a look at the church before we totally move on and see what we can do to that.